Hi everyone, happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to another Wednesday chair yoga class here at Guided by Humanity. I'm Valerie Wyrick and we have our chair back here. So grab yourself a seat wherever you are. If you're still at the office, great. If you are at home in your comfy chair or a chair that you sit in all the time, great. It's a great place to be so we can get started here by first just inviting in some intention into our practice. So, within our current climate, there's a lot to be experienced and a lot to be felt right now. And it may feel like, who knows what it feels like for you today. For me personally, I've been feeling a bit of the high emotion happening, and it really is a call to just invite in more softness into the day and more sweetness into the day today. And from a yogic lens, what can that start to look like? This idea of non harming. Really simple idea, but we just invite this in throughout the day, through every step of the day, really. And it just is a simple invitation to come back to some sweetness, to tune into and to observe the ways in which we are living our lives and the way in which we are talking to others, the way in which we are talking to ourselves. Oftentimes, those two things can mirror each other. So, the way that we're talking to others might be also what's happening in our inner dialogue. So, becoming aware is one of the first steps. And then, with that awareness, we can begin to slightly shift perspective if it needs to be shifted. If you find that you're just saying not nice things to yourself, which happens to all of us at some point, but if you find that that's you, that you've said some not nice things to your thought process or to your body today, then just taking that moment to observe, know that you're not perfect, perfectly imperfect, but we observe and then we simply invite the pattern to shift and to say, okay, here's how I was talking to myself. How can I talk to myself now in a more positive, loving, non harming way? And then we do the same thing with others as well. This simple practice really helps us to invite some compassion for ourselves and for others, and to know that we're all here and we're all doing the best that we can with what we have going on today. And that is enough. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to have it all figured out. We certainly don't have to know all the answers, and that's okay. That's okay. And it's also okay to not be okay some days too. You just invite in compassion wherever you are, invite in a sense of non-harming, and know that we are all deeply, deeply connected. We're all globally living under the same climate. And that's more of an abstract idea as opposed to a physical idea, but we're in this living in the same time. So that in itself unites all of us. So when we can learn to be nice and non-harming and loving to ourselves, we can also turn that lens and do the same for others. So inviting that into your day, however that speaks to you. Okay, and then we just get started here with a little bit of centering. So I invite you to take a moment to maybe let your eyes close or send your gaze down towards the earth and just start to observe now what's coming with you within your thoughts, what's on your mind today. So there's that piece of acknowledgement to seeing what's on your mind today. Noticing what is within your emotions, what's on your heart today, that more inward expression. And observing too, what was the outward expression of your experience today? How were you yourself today? What was that outward experience? Maybe inviting in some attention to how your body's feeling right now too. And then simply allow your thoughts to meet your body right where you are here on the mat, ready for your practice, ready for this loving, nurturing, adaptive yoga flow. Please take a deep inhalation through your nose. Soft exhale. Deep inhale through your nose. Soft exhale. Full and deep inhale. And let it go. I invite you to take your hands, and if it feels comfortable, place them on your body. It can be hand on the heart, hand on the belly, or anywhere they feel good. Tune in now to this inner vibration, your body breathing, and maybe even the beat of your heart, that deep inner working of your body. And allow your breath to be full, taking your inhales into the area of your belly. If you have an intention in mind for your practice, please invite that in. I'd like to offer a simple intention as well, which is simply this idea of thank you for bringing me here. Thank you for bringing me here. Deep inhalation, and let it go. Please blink your eyes open as you come back into the space. And you start to make your way to that chair. Mine's back here. I'm going to take a moment before I get into the chair to do a little work with you closer to the screen. So we're going to start with just some deep body awareness by actually moving the hands, which these are great receptor points to receive. And we're going to move the hands throughout the body to create some circulation physically and what's known as prana, or some inviting in some energy or life force. So let's first start with the toes. We're going to go from the ground all the way up. So with the toes, you just want to take, I'm going to turn so you can demo a little bit here. So with the toes, you just want to take your hands and just give each toe a little bit of a wiggle. If they pop, that's okay. If you don't like touching your toes, then just honor that feeling and see if you can send a bit of love to each toe and to your body in these hardworking feet that have worked for you all day long. Take both of your hands and just give the foot, the bottom of the foot, a little bit of a squeeze. So you just take the hands and squeeze the foot. When you get to your ankle, make a nice circle with your hands on the sides of the ankle. And then continue to take your hands, the thumbs can go on the back, and you just work your way up your legs, squeezing as you come up towards the knee. When you get to the knee, make a nice big circle. And then continue that motion with both of your hands on the upper leg, on the thigh, and you're just giving your leg a little bit of a squeeze and a rub. And when you get up to the area of the hip, take your hands on the outside of the hip and give your body some love here, some big circles. So some strong muscles here in the body that really help support. Okay, then when we get to the belly, we're switching to the other foot. So you first start with a little bit of love for each toe. A little bit of love for each toe. Hands around the foot and just start that nice squeeze. Work your way to the ankle and a circle. And then just continue this squeezing going up the back of the leg. When you get to your knee, make a circle. And then continue with both hands, just giving a nice, gentle, yet firm squeeze to the leg. When you get to the outer hip, give that hip some love with a circle. Okay, now as we come up to the belly, very specific with the directioning here. So you take both your hands and place them on your right side. So it may be backwards because of the camera mirroring, but on your right side, both hands, take an inhale and bring the hands up underneath the ribs. And then as you exhale, soft push downward through the left side. Let the hands come down around the bottom of the pelvis. Take an inhale and lift up on the right underneath the ribs. And exhale left, deep release. Hands down around the bottom. Inhale to the right, pulling up under the ribs. And then exhale to the left, nice pressing down. That follows the line of the colon, the descending colon to go downward. And then we do one more here with a nice circle up underneath the ribs and then down. Okay, from there we take the hands now. We're starting to work the hands. So first start with a little bit of love for each finger, just giving some attention there. Then take one hand, we're gonna do both. Take the hand, the opposite hand, and give your opposite hand a little bit of a squeeze on the bottom pinky edge side. When you get to the wrist, make a circle. And then continue that squeeze all the way up to the elbow. So working your way to the elbow. You might find tightness. If you do, feel free to stay there and rub for a little while. Elbow gets a circle. And then just continue to the underarm. Yeah, give all of this area of your body a little love in the underarm. Take your hand all the way down below the breastbone and to the low ribs, and then all the way up towards the sternum. You're just giving a little bit of rub and a little bit of attention to the body in those areas. Okay, and then we take the opposite side. We do the same thing, love for the fingers. And then start with the pinky side and squeeze. So just a little bit of attention. Wrist gets a circle and continue the squeeze. Elbow gets a circle. And then you work your way up to the underarm. So there may be tightness here, and this isn't an area that we normally are massaging, so just be aware of how it feels. We come to the low ribs and then up through the center, just giving a little bit of a press. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then from here we take the first arm that we did and come through the top now. So you're gonna give that same hand a bit of a squeeze. Top of the wrist gets a roll. Continue the squeezing all the way up towards the elbow, circle. Continue that squeezing, so maybe a little tender if it is, go gentle on yourself. When you get to the shoulder, give the shoulder a nice rub. Take it all the way to the upper back and just not forcefully, but softly, just a light pull forward or a soft pressing down. And when you get to your neck, same thing, a little bit of a press down. Take your fingers along the middle of the back of your neck and softly press your fingers, soft but firm, press your fingers down to your neck. Yeah, and you may feel some areas of tension there. Who knows? You and your neck know. If you do, feel free to stay here for a little while and give your body some love. Okay, now we go to the second side. Here's our last piece here, which is taking the hand to the upper part of the opposite hand, circle around the wrist, continue that squeeze and circle. And we just work our way all the way on this side up to the shoulder. When you get to the shoulder, take your fingers on the back and softly pull forward. You have fingers all the way to the middle of the back of your neck and a little bit of a light pressing. Okay, once you've gotten there, take a moment to close your eyes softly or look down towards the earth and observe the feeling of sensation throughout the body. Notice the areas that were craving a bit of attention, that needed a bit of love. Just observe how you feel. Start to blink the eyes open, come back into the space. Okay, and then we'll begin to move the body a bit. Now that we've woken everything up, we'll just begin to move. So you may take a blanket towards the back of your chair, and that can just help elevate your seat slightly. So let your feet be about hips width apart. So notice where your hips are. Let the knees track in the same spacing, and then the feet track in the same spacing from there. Take the arms out beside you, palms wide, and then lift the arms up overhead as you inhale. Flip the palms down and exhale. Same thing, 2 more times. In breath, rise, lengthen and look up. And out breath. Take both arms up overhead. One hand comes down to the edge of the chair, opposite arm comes up and over. Use your chair as support here. Feet are grounded down to the earth. Both arms come back up overhead. And second side, hand comes down, up and over. Both arms sweep up overhead. And this time, invite the palms together, come down through the heart center. Take the arms out beside you. Look up as you lift the arms up. Exhale, the hands come down to the heart. All the way down to the lap. Look forward, look up. Inhale, reach through the sternum, so the chest. And then exhale, round into the back of the body. Inhale to lengthen and look up. Exhale to round. Arms come out and all the way up overhead. Hands come down through the heart center. Arms come out and up. This time, bend the elbows, lift through the sternum, gaze up. Arms reach up. Hug one knee to the chest. Return that foot. Hug the opposite knee to the chest. Arms come out and up overhead. And return the palms to the heart center. Hands come down, arms reach up. Bend the elbows, lift through the chest. Arms reach up. Hug one knee to the chest. Let's go arms reach up again to get a nice deep inhale. And then use that exhale to bring the knee in. Arms reach up. And hands down to the heart. We have one more just like this. Sweep the arms out. Create a lot of space here, all the way up overhead. Bend the elbows open. Stay here for one inhalation. Open on the exhale. Arms reach up. Hug one knee to the chest. Arms lift. Opposite knee to the chest. Arms reach up. This time we'll invite in a twist, so one arm forward, one arm back. And stay here in this twist for a few moments just to feel into the sensation. Notice your breathing. If it's difficult to breathe, back out slightly, come into just a softer twist. If you're looking for a lot today, send your gaze back towards the back of your chair. Arms sweep out and up. And we switch sides. Nice deep breathing. Again, if you can't breathe, slightly back out. If you're looking for more, gaze goes towards the back of the chair. Arms sweep out, up overhead. Bend the elbows open. Arms go up. Knee hugs to the chest. You can slightly lean back as well as you hug in. Arms go up. And opposite knee to the chest. Reach your arms up overhead. And then down to the heart center. Take your arms back behind you. You can either grab a hold of opposite elbows or interlace your fingers and let your elbows move close towards each other. Right? If you chose the interlacing of the fingers, let your hands and that interlacing come to one side of your waist. Okay? So it's just to the one side. Right? Take your head and lean it over towards the opposite side. Oh, if you got a pop there. A little tightness in the neck. So my hands are on my left, and so I'm leaning over to my right. So this creates a little bit of traction for the side of the neck as well as into the area of the collarbone. You may feel it in the front of the body or the back of the body. We're just really looking for areas that might have tension that we could send a little bit of love to. Today is all about loving the body, non-harming ourselves, and non-harming of each other. Okay, back through neutral with your head and your neck. Take the arms back behind you. If the fingers are interlaced, then try the opposite cross for the fingers, the one that might feel a bit strange. Take the hands over to the side, and if you're just grabbing the elbows, that's also a great place to be. You can still lean your head and your neck over to the side. All right, so hands over to the opposite side if you're going interlacing of fingers, and head and neck lean now to the opposite side. Notice where you feel this sensation, and if it feels good to give these areas of the body a bit of attention. We're just having a nice, softly paced practice today. And that's simply to invite in the idea of just slowing, inviting, receiving. Okay, we come back through neutral, release the hands. From here, take both of your feet and walk them out to the edges of the chair. Yeah. So just walk the feet out so that they're wide. Take both of your feet and ground them now down to the earth. If your feet need a little bit of support as well, you can slide blankets up underneath them if you feel like they're not touching the earth in a grounded way. Take the hands to the knees and then lengthen the whole spine really tall. Take one shoulder towards the center and the opposite shoulder back. So we come forward with one shoulder, back with the other. We come back through neutral slowly, and then we take that to the second side. One shoulder forward, one shoulder back. One more time each side. All the way back through neutral. Ground the feet down, sweep the arms out and up, bend the elbows again, lift through the chest, spread the fingers. Then there's the option to lift the heels. So we just lift the heels. Big, wide, take up space. Find your breathing there. Reach the arms up. Hands come down, heels come down. Two options for the next shape. You can either lean forward with the support of the hands on the knees, or you can reach your hands down to the earth. You can keep your head neutral or let your head hang. And you can keep your hands under your shoulders or walk the hands far forward, letting the head align with the arms. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders and then back to the knees. Come all the way back. Let your hands self-assist here to walk the knees back towards each other. Okay, a little bit of asymmetrical shapes now. So you take one of your legs and just let that be the neutral leg, so the knee and the toes, everything faces forward. Take the opposite leg and extend it out to the side. So just see where it feels comfortable to extend your leg, toes face forward. Right, from here, if your right leg is extended, take your left arm out to the side, palm faces up. And then start to reach this arm up, following it with your gaze. The opposite hand can be on the hip. Or if it feels comfortable, you can walk this hand down the edge of the leg. So just see what works for you today. Come all the way back through neutral. We take this same, so if your left leg is neutral, now it's your left elbow to your left leg. You take your right arm, reach it out, and then come up overhead. So we're crossing now across the body, big lateral movement, long line from the tip of the finger to the tip of the pinky toe. All the way back through neutral. And then assist here by bringing your leg back as well. And then we switch sides. So one leg extends, opposite leg is forward. That's your neutral leg. And it doesn't have to be, straight out to the side. If it feels more comfortable for your leg to be a bit forward, that's also a great place to be. Okay, so we first start. Now, if your left leg is extended, the right arm extends out to the side, palm faces up. Reach the arm, gaze goes up. And you can walk the hand down the side of the leg if that feels good. All the way back through neutral with the spine. Right leg is neutral, so right elbow comes to the top of the leg. The left arm now sweeps out and up alongside the ear, reaching over and across the body, long line from the tip of the finger to the edge of the pinky. Okay, all the way back through neutral, and we assist here, letting the leg come in, yes. Okay, take both of your arms, sweep them up overhead, nice neutralizing pose. As you reach the arms up, come back to the heels lifted, slightly lean forward. Now, as you find this shape, imagine that you're pulling the middle line of the body in and up, in and up. So if the low ribs are pushed out, pull the low ribs in and imagine this whole middle of the body coming in and up. Lean forward. You can also cactus the arms, bend the elbows here if you'd like, or just keep them lifted. Lifting the heels, breathing, it will end. Okay, back through neutral with the spine, release, and we're done with that shape. We might do one more, felt pretty good. Okay, now let's change it up a little and we'll come to the edge of the chair. You can take your blanket if you're using it and place it down on the earth in front of you. And from here, you just take both of your legs over to one side of the chair and come over to the edge, use the back for support, and you just let the leg that's on the outside extend back behind you. Okay, so the knee may touch the earth. If it doesn't, you can slide that blanket as support, or you can just scoot to the edge more of your chair. So already you may feel a bit of hip opening in the front hip, so nice hip flexor extension, and that, well, maybe not extension in the way of like back bend extension, but just opening or lengthening rather. So if this is a tight area, know that right here is a good place to be. You may place your hand on that space to just let your body know that it's safe and that you will honor when you have gone far enough. All right, if you'd like to change up the shape of it, you take that opposite arm and reach it up overhead. And then start to come up and over and leaning towards the back of your chair. Come all the way out through neutral spine. And then you can stay right where you are again. Putting the hand on the hip is a great place to be. Or we take it into a twist to the back of the chair. So hands come to the back of the chair, long spine, and then twist so that the torso starts to face towards the back of the room or the back of the chair. Pretty big shape, so be mindful of where your body feels comfortable. Start to unwind. Outside arm reaches up. And then we take this into just one more variation here that is, of course, optional. So the option is to take the back heel and lift it so that you have just a knee down. I would recommend having a blanket underneath the knee just for some support and padding. Whichever leg is out in front, a deep press of that foot down and then start to pull the heel in towards your body. So it's a lot of lengthening for not just the hip flexor, but the quadricep of your leg that's in the front. Okay, and then as you release, two options here. You can either plug the foot back in Or you can extend this leg back. So you just give a nice reach of the leg back, and then both arms come up overhead this time. Low ribs come in. Imagine that midline of the body lengthening up and in. Reach through the sternum. Cactus the elbows. And release. So now we bring this back leg with a little bit of help all the way forward to meet the other one. And we switch sides. Got a nice sunset happening in the studio right now. Okay, to the edge of the chair, we first start with knee plugged down, back foot. The toes are curled under, the heel is lifted, and there's a nice press there of the back foot. We first start with just one arm up overhead, outside arm. Come over and across for lateral movement, so you're leaning towards the back of the chair. Start to unwind, and then we take it to the twist. So both hands can come to the back of the chair, lift and lengthen, and then start your twist. Start to unwind here. Outside arm comes up overhead. And then you just can circle that shoulder back, come all the way back, letting the back heel come in towards the body. So front foot is grounded down, and then you just softly start to lift that foot, really hugging the foot towards the body. Give the bottom knee some support with the blanket. Notice where you're feeling a bit of sensation. And as you release from that shape, there's the option to stay right here, foot plugged in, arms reach up, or you can extend that leg towards the back of your space. It doesn't have to lock and be straight, but just extend it to where it feels like a long line there. And then option here to reach both arms up, pull the middle of the body in and up, lengthen up, and then arms come open. Strong breathing. Arms reach up. Ooh, come all the way out. We let this back leg come all the way forward. Yes. And then we come back through neutral. Back through neutral. Okay. The feet can stay on the blanket if that feels nice and supportive to have that little bit underneath you. Okay, from here, we'll take a little bit of dynamic movement, moving breath with body. Arms come out to that cactus T shape, like a lowercase t. And then I'll give two options here. So one, you can twist the upper body and bring the elbow down. Or the second shape is to lift the knee as you twist and bring the elbow forward. Okay, so two options, see what one works for your body. And we just take it to either side. Let the inhale come through the middle. One more each side. Back through neutral. Yes, let the hands come down to either side of the chair. Scoot forward slightly. And then let one leg extend out in front of you, lifting the heel up off of the earth. Now either stay there or there's the option to take the second leg with it and match both of them. Lift the heels. Flex through the feet, breathe, long, tall spine. Use the chair as support. Maybe lift the heels a bit higher. Okay, and then ground the feet down. We're coming back to the chair pose. Just one more chair pose. All right, so we take the arms and it's a nice sunset. It's kind of right here. So you reach the arms up, lean forward, pull in and up through the middle of the body, and then lift the heels. Long spine. Option to bend the elbows. Offer a bit of love and gratitude to your body right here. Bring the heels back down. Return your spine to neutral. All right. Take the sternum and lift the gaze, lift the chest. Exhale, release. Lift the gaze, lift the sternum. And exhale. Take one leg forward. Pull the knee in towards the chest. There's option one. You can ground the heel down and hug the knee in. Option two is to take this foot, cross the ankle over the opposite knee and come into seated pigeon pose. So either knee in or pigeon pose. Hands can come through the heart center. Maybe a lean forward. All the way back to neutral. Unwind, you can extend that leg back out. And then ground the foot down. Opposite leg extends out. Option to hug the knee to the chest, ground the heel to the chair, or cross the ankle over the knee to come into seated pigeon pose. Okay, hands come down through the heart if you're in pigeon, and a little bit of a slight lean forward. Steady your breathing. Be mindful of your leg that's on the top and keep this foot flexed. That's to protect the ankle. If it feels tight, know that you can back out by coming back to neutral spine. One more breath. Slowly unwind, let it go. Extend that leg out. Back through neutral with both feet. Take both arms out beside you. Make a long, wide stance with the arms. Then take just the palms, flip them up towards the stars, bend the elbows, and squeeze the back of your shoulder blades in towards each other. So as if the bottom of the shoulder blades could hold a round ball between them. Squeeze, and then lower the shoulder blades down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let the arms extend out. Cross the arms in front of you at the elbows. Let the hands come to the shoulders and just lift the elbows, squeeze the shoulders. Arms come out to a T. Opposite arm on the bottom. Lift the elbows with the shoulders and then squeeze. Arms come out. Arms go up, and then down through the heart center. Okay, please allow your hands to your lap. You can take a blanket or a bolster and place that on top of your legs. You can certainly lean back in your chair for support. And just allow yourself to begin to receive stillness. Receive stillness. So as you stay in your chair, noticing sensations from your asana practice. What does your body feel? And as you acknowledge those sensations, notice which poses felt nurturing to you today. Did you find any areas of your body throughout the practice that really were signaling for some attention or some love? And simply allow yourself here to receive and to really ground down into stillness. I invite you to bring your attention back to your body, into the space where you are. And as you bring your attention back to this body, noticing what it feels like physically after your practice. And again, I invite you to bring the hands to touch your body somewhere and to just receive everything that you've cultivated physically from your practice. And as you find that sense of receiving, notice what it is that you've created here, what it is that you tapped into. And inviting gratitude. It isn't always easy to receive these feelings of feeling vulnerable and open and joyous. And you can honor that, but sometimes it's hard to receive these feelings. Knowing that as we become more comfortable through the yoga practice with cultivating these feelings, receiving, accepting, offering gratitude, the more prevalent they become in our lives, and we're able to share that out with everyone around us. We find and we tap into that vibration within us and that light within us, and then we're able to see that same light and that same vibration through everyone around us as well. So I'd like to close with one simple mantra, and that is the mantra Om. Now the Om is an O sound with a hum, and the O comes from deep in the belly, not just from the chest and from the voice, but from deep down in the belly. So we'll start with an inhale in which you fill the whole belly, and then that mantra comes out with the exhalation, full and deep. All right, so let's begin together. Deep inhale. Let it go. Fill your voice. And honoring that voice and vibration within you and all around you. Thank you for coming to the mat. Thank you for offering your practice today. We hope to see you again for our Wednesday afternoon chair yoga. Keep in mind that next Friday, the first Friday of the month, is our restorative yoga and sound healing. Again, that event is virtual, so you can catch it right here on the Guided by Humanity Facebook page. Leave a comment if there's specific poses you'd like to see in next week's class, or any kind of comments or feedback that you have. Feel free to direct message us. Thanks everyone for tuning in.